Hello everyone, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those who watch this video. Hope you enjoy it. Today we're talking about Esther and the King, starring Joan Collins. A while back I did one called One Night with the King. I believe that was the title. It's another Esther movie about Esther. I was going to say Esther movie, but another movie about Esther. So this one is an oldie for, you know what? Let's watch this. I like those good old 1950s, 60s kind of fantasy type movies. I mean, this is a time period, not much magical stuff going on, but you know what we're talking about. I love these time period movies. So I figure I'd give it a shot and see what's if it's any good, you know, for the 1950s here. Getting into a rough start on this review, but let's continue. And so Esther and King is a little different. They kind of add on to the biblical story. In this one, Esther actually has a fiance before she marries the king. Her fiance is like the right-hand man of the king. You know, he saved the king's life. Him and the king are very buddy-buddy. However, when the king's queen kind of goes rogue on him and he dismisses her, he goes out to the land to get women to be his next queen. Little did he know, he kind of his men stole Esther from his best bud there, his right-hand man, and he eventually makes her queen. A couple of things that I noticed here in this one is that something kind of funny. The queen, his original queen, does like a dance in front of everybody. And she's basically up there twerking. I was like, man, who would know? Twerking's back there in the 1950s. We're twerking left and right, you know. Of course, this is supposed to be taking place like, BC time period. But, you know, 1950s, you got a woman twerking. You actually got her taking her top off, though her back's towards the camera, so you can't really see anything. I was kind of surprised. It's kind of risque. I didn't realize it went that much skin in the 1950s. Shows you how little I know, I guess. I guess there's other movies that show a lot of skin, but I was kind of surprised to see they had an actress take her top off. Like I said, though, her back's to the camera. You're not seeing any nudity in this movie unless you count a bear's back as nudity, which I guess technically it is. Anyways, so I did like that dynamic, though, that Esther was actually his right-hand man, the guy who saves his life, fiance, and how that caused like additional conflict to the story. Actually kind of longer conflict than the one with the main villain. And I like how the main villain is kind of crafty, you know. He kind of uses the old queen for his own benefit and kind of discards her when she's no more use of him. And then when king's looking for a new queen, he kind of puts his own little pawn in that little mix to go and try to win the king's favor. That storyline, I wish it could have went a little longer. It was not really short. There wasn't much competition. The king didn't really see Esther and her other woman side by side. He didn't really get to both try to win his affection, because pretty much that her competition there, the evil girl here who's being a pawn, basically gets killed by our main villain, who, you know, like most movies, you know, the villain is very smart, but his underlings are kind of dumb. In this case, this guy, that his underling is pretty much like a retarded, mentally challenged. For you newer generations, you know, I can't really say the word retarded anymore, but he is mentally challenged, retarded, and he's very strong, kind of like Miles and Men, and the guy kind of uses him as his muscles. And, you know, when you got somebody who's all muscles and no brains, they make mistakes, and that's kind of what happened there. The fighting scenes in this movie are very bad, very poorly performed and choreographed. Maybe because the weaponry is very fake-ish looking as well. Like the costumes, I guess the costumes pass, and some of the settings are all right. Looks like, I don't know where they shot this, but some of them do look like authentic. I don't know if any of this was shot on site, but some of the settings could be like really good, but then you can look very cheap. Like this production does look kind of cheap, so I don't really know how well it was done. There was another movie I saw about the same time period. Was it Salome? It was about the woman who killed John the Baptist, you know, asked for his head. I did a review on it a few months back. I can't remember the name. Is it Salome? I think it's Salome, right? And that production was really good. Like the costumes were great. The sets were fantastic. It seems like no expense was spared. This one, it looks like they took a little bit of shortcuts. Like I said, like the costumes look kind of not really well, and the sets look not very well either. I'm not going to complain too much about the picture quality. I don't know if it's just Amazon Prime or what, but the picture's kind of grainy and the sound isn't very good. I don't know if it's bad transformation from throughout the years of the film or what. So I'm not going to go too hardcore in that. Let's see what else there. And there's a scene, back in the 1950s, being a stunt double is like treacherous. You could actually die. Like the story of Ben-Hur. There was actually a guy who died during the big chariot race. His cape got caught with the wheel spoke or something like that, and he got trampled on. In this movie, I kid you not, at the end, there's a guy who gets ran over by a horse and the chariot, like, that really runs him over. But he's moving afterwards, so I don't think he died. I don't think he was crippled or anything. I don't know, but he actually did get ran over by the horse, and you can see the wheel going over him. That'd be pretty scary. Hopefully they knew it was all right. I mean, it's in the past, but, it was, I don't think they really took as much precautions back then as they do today when it comes to stunts. And that's just evidence of that one. Something to look out for if you haven't seen this yet. It's on Amazon Prime. I would say, I recommend it with caution. The One Night with the King, I would say, was better than this one. If that's the title of the other one, I'm pretty sure that's the title of the other Esther movie that I reviewed. It was better than this one, but I did like the little wrinkles that they put in that added to the story. Like I said, the right-hand man getting his fiancée stolen by the king, the conflict that happens over that, the challenge of the other women, Esther doing that stuff with them. So that stuff I kind of enjoyed of this movie, but I'm still going to recommend with this caution. It didn't really put you over the top. And I think there are probably better versions of this movie. Best version is VeggieTales. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not just kidding. But VeggieTales does a good version of this. Showed it to my kids all the time when they were youngins. But like I said, recommend this caution. It's a classic, I believe. Joan Collins is in it. But, I think the story's been told better, shot better, and but if you like classic movies, check this out. If you've already seen it, if you haven't seen it, let me know. Do you think I'm wrong about the costumes and the sets and stuff? Let me know below. I'm not a film historian. I'm just your common man watching movies, talking about them. So have a great day, and until my next video, bye.